And we are live. Welcome everyone to the Live Reality Game Shows podcast. I'm your host Lee. With me again is Syrvivor Syracuse alumni, all-star, and ultimate villain and fan favorite Madison.
Let's go.
And today we are recapping Syrvivor Syracuse Heroes Vs Villains, Episode 4, Season 4. And
Double fours. Wow.
yeah, and I know Madison, this is probably an episode that made you very upset with who went home.
Yes, absolutely. R.I.P. the King, Jason Dang. Put some
King
respect
Jason.
on his name.
I mean, the threat level on him, they just had to get rid of him first.
Obviously, he was just too much to handle. So he went
Yeah.
out like a champ. No one can tell me any differently, but we will discuss.
Yeah. He technically didn't leave because he wasn't even there.
Absolutely. Icons only. Come on now.
He's actually still in the game.
Yeah.
But before we get to the tribal, we're going to go back to the beginning at the end of the last villains tribal where we had to say goodbye to Paul. We're all sad.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, Hannah comes to realization that Jack has a lot of power.
That's true.
He's everyone's number one and helps her think more about her actual season on why nobody would target Jack because he was always a name being like, oh, he can easily be targeted in the merge, so we'll keep him for now.
Yeah, I think Jack is a very underrated social player. He doesn't want to be considered the leader, which is a very understandable take, but
Yeah.
I think he does very well or is doing better this season with developing relationships and making others feel comfortable. I was one of the people that considered him my number one. I might be biased in thinking that I was also his number one, like the actual number one, because he did say that episode 1, but he's in a very good position at the moment with a bunch of people going to him, checking in on what he wants constantly. So
yeah, that's why everyone thinks he's the leader because everyone's going to him.
And it's a cool position to be in.
Yeah, his game has definitely improved since season 2 because I will admit I was one of the many people that was like, I hate this guy.
he
Yeah,
can
he
be a
just
little bit cocky, but
a little.
he's doing better.
Yeah, he just had one of those personalities where it's like, oh, why do you have to be such a douche?
Oh, it's okay.
But he's definitely improved. You can definitely tell he watched his season and was like, oh, I could have done this a lot different.
Yeah, you can tell that he was very critical of how he played the first time, and he saw how he came across, and I think he went into this season wanting to do differently and knowing that he had to do differently if he wanted to win.
Yeah, and so far it's working out for him. That's because he's an obvious target, but everybody needs him.
And something happened.
And something happens. We'll get into it.
Okay.
So, from the leader of the villains to the flops, we get to see exit confessional people Kevin and Paul meet up with current player Cassidy.
Yes.
And they talk about being #pigs, which I don't get. I wish. Paul, Kevin, Cassidy, Holly. Do you know anything about it?
I don't really understand it, but they do, and a lot of people do. I think it's a reference to a book that I read in high school that I personally do not remember, but they're like the RAs, the pigs. They are friends out of the game. They're friends in the game, and I think they were really trying to just boost Cassidy up. Hopefully they weren't giving them information since they were voted out, but
I don't know. What information would they have to give them?
That's true. That is true. They only know what they know.
They're all such good friends, and what best friends do is call each other coattail riders.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, poor Cassidy. But she's making it clear that she wants to change up her game from last season. She doesn't want just to be the snowball and ride the coattails.
Absolutely. I went into this season, of the season 3 people, Cassidy was the one and only person that I had not spoken to at all throughout the entirety of season 3, even though we both made it very, very far. So I was one of the people who kind of viewed Cassidy as an attachment to Holly, but Cassidy is her own player. She's here to play. Let's see. I would love to see a Cassidy character arc, and see her just like kill it out there. Let's see it, Cassidy, bring it.
Yeah, we can easily see like Cassidy become her own player. She doesn't need Holly or Kevin or Paul or like any of these people.
Absolutely. Let's see it.
Yeah. And then we kind of get our final Gabby Paul confessional, given their last goodbyes. Paul spoils that the drag challenge might be coming back.
I don't know.
Did he spoil it? We don't know. I guess we'll just have to watch the season to find out.
Exactly.
Yeah. As a two-time RuPaul's Drag Race challenge player, what is it like doing that challenge?
Hey, okay. I had a better time season 3 when I had more time. I was actually traveling when I was doing the drag challenge during the mini, and I had minimal stuff to work with, but it's a fun challenge. It's not my favorite. I definitely got in my head a little bit seeing Gabby as one of the judges during the mini. I was like, oh no, I don't think Gabby likes me. Like, I'm supposed to do drag in front of her. Like, oh dear. But my friends boosted me up and I did my best.
Yeah, and you did very good bringing Big Wendy back to Survivor.
Of course. Put some respect on her.
Not all of us could be like dress up as a frat boy.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Cooper.
Oof, big oof. We all did our best. Some did better than others.
Yeah. That was such a fun challenge. I hope that does come back.
Yeah, it is. It's a staple.
Yeah. And from a fun challenge to sadly, Cam is in quarantine because you filmed during a COVID.
This is true. Huge part of the game.
Yeah, so what was that like filming during the pandemic times? Because that was a big jump from like, oh yeah, you've played twice during the pandemic.
And that was interesting because the season 3 people were the only people who have played. Well, I guess season 2 partially, but they just went online. But season 3 were the people who really played in person in the pandemic, and especially the season 1 people. I think they were. It was interesting to see how they tackled the different variations and like stuff that you have to do differently because you can gather in small groups. You can't really gather like have parties with unmasked, talk about game. Like it was a big deal for the villains to have their hangout, but we were extremely careful. We wore masks, we tried to distance, all of that stuff. But social is a huge part of Survivor, and season 1 people really had to figure it out.
Yeah, because because that's the whole thing with college Survivor. That's the big difference. You guys can actually meet up, but now that you can't do it, you have to self isolate. You have to call each other. You have to save audio recordings.
Absolutely. My favorite thing to do.
Yeah, we love those audio recordings. So for you, it wasn't really a big jump since you're a veteran of playing during COVID.
Yeah, same with this other season 3 people.
Yeah. And it just shows these survivors plus other ones prove that even during COVID times, we still get amazing college Survivor seasons.
Absolutely. And we have to have it. It's a staple. I think every college should have college Survivor. It's an awesome thing. But I digress.
Yeah. So after that, we get to the challenge, and we bring back an old classic hide and go Luke, or find Luke as it's simply called.
Yeah.
Where the host, Luke, hides somewhere, and then the tribes have to find him. This challenge features not only the tribes, but also season 3 players Zach and Sabrina, and season 2 players Andrew,
Absolutely.
who join your tribe.
Woo, go villains!
And if they were actually on the season, they probably would be on the villain tribe. Maybe not Sabrina.
Sabrina? Yeah, no, I don't think Sabrina would have been on the villain.
Sabrina wouldn't have, but I think the other two would
have. Even though she was equally as responsible for the fake idol play. But, oh well.
If you're involved in that fake idol, you're a villain. Unless your name is Holly. Because she was the victim.
She was the victim, yes.
Yeah. So what was that challenge like? Just like driving all over Syracuse College trying to find Luke?
I thought it was super fun. It was very similar to the first challenge where we were like kind of driving all over the place to try and pick up items. It was similar to that first season 3 challenge where we had to like go find clues.
The Amazing Race challenge.
The Amazing Race challenge is very similar. And season 2 players, they have done this challenge before. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was a funsies, and I personally got the result that I wanted to see.
Yeah, because finally, the villains win.
Mhm.
Yay! Heroes get to go to
Yeah.
a tribal.
Let's go.
And it's all thanks to Jack being a master at this game. He's 2 for 2 in
Oh
finding Luke.
my god. Yeah.
Was And then at the end, were you in Jake's car?
I was. A lot of people were. I think it was Jake, myself, Owen, maybe, and
Owen, Owen, Jack.
I think it was me and the boys, and then Gabby and Hannah were in a different car, the New Jersey driver car.
Uh, wait, are they all from Jersey?
No, they are not. But Gabby, I think, said something like she was driving like a New Jersey person or something, which I thought was funny. She's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. And then at the very end, Jake pulls up the car. I was like, "Do you want a lift?"
Yeah, and Carl rejected him, and I want to see if that shows up in the game because come on, like maybe that was Jake trying to extend an olive branch to a hero, and Carl just was like, no,
Nope.
like
That could have been like an easy strategy talk.
exactly, but maybe that's the start of beef. Maybe conspiracy
Ooh.
theory. No,
So I'd like to know how Jack was able to find Luke. Maybe we'll interview him at some point.
maybe, yeah.
Maybe if he ever gets voted off.
Yeah. And yeah, I think he just understood the clue. I think we all spread out after we were like in the car. We all got out. I explored the mount a little bit more, and he went down towards where Luke was, and he got it. So worked out. Yeah. Go team. Go villains team. The
Go
better.
villains. So I guess all you guys had to do was just vote off Paul, and then you just would have started winning.
Oh gosh, I get Paul would hate to hear that.
Okay, Paul.
Maybe.
Maybe he was the reason you kept losing the whole time.
Oh my gosh, no. There's no way. But maybe.
Hey. So after the challenge, of course, the villains are happy. The heroes are, some are not, and some are like, we finally get to play Survivor.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to just be there and like, oh yeah, let's write this out to the merge. Let's constantly win.
Yeah, what's the fun in that?
Yeah, where's the entertainment?
Exactly.
Speaking of entertainment, we go to the villain segment for once first.
Yes.
And we get the big idol hunt.
The idol hunt. Let's go. I like idols. Loved idol hunting.
Yeah, I bet that's fun. I am never able to find one.
Oh, well, maybe you would be. That's why you should play College Survivor. You never know.
Any college is accepting.
Yeah, exactly. Promo yourself, leave.
Yeah. For Syracuse season 20.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting up there.
So the first thing I want to ask is, Newhouse Stein? What's that?
Newhouse is where like my home college was based. It's like the School of Communications, and it's kind of close to the bar. It's actually like it's close to the Veterans Building, which Jack went. It's close to some bars or whatever. And before then, I looked at Shine just like Jake did. So I was looking at a bunch of different places, but I got really cold because there was snow everywhere. So I went into Newhouse to warm up for a little bit, and my boots were all nasty, but no luck for me.
The joy of finding idols in the snow.
Yeah, it was because I hadn't had to do that before. Would not recommend.
Yeah, if you're going to play a college Survivor season, make sure it's the spring semester.
Exactly. Yeah.
So everyone is idol hunting. Everyone's trying to figure out where is it. For some reason, Gabby and Owen are finding it together, which I find surprising. Since
I think
Gabby
that was just by chance, but maybe Gabby was trying to like make new bonds, stick herself out from the bottom. Who knows?
Yeah, because we've been hearing a lot of how anti-body she is.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just you.
Maybe it's both. Oh,
yeah. Everyone's thinking of buildings. You mentioned the army building that Jack thought, but he was thinking way too deep into it.
I thought that was funny because I was in ROTCA, so I spent a lot of time in the Veterans Building, and I didn't even think of that. So looking back and hearing that thought process, I was like, oh my gosh, Jack, geez. A little deep.
Yeah, a little too serious for Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Abby, the girl who's not even there.
Yeah.
Figure out the idol, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then she wants to tell Jack. Jack doesn't pick up, so she tells Jake. But then she also tells Jack. And then they go running. And
I don't know why she did that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you
I,
tell people?
I don't know, maybe just to make sure somebody found it in her alliance.
I guess, but she was in like an alliance of like 6. But who knows?
Yeah. Maybe she wanted to make that 6 into a 3.
Ooh, maybe.
Maybe she was like, yeah, this 6 is good for now, but what happens when it's down to the 6?
Which is smart.
I need a plan.
Cut
And
Madison out. Do it.
of course, her and Jack were tight, and she's also now tight with Jake
Mm-hmm.
because Jack finds the idol.
Woo, go
This is
Jack.
this is a good episode for Jack.
It
He
is.
won the challenge. He found an idol,
Yep,
which he told you about.
he did. He did tell me. And
Yeah,
sent me
so
photo evidence because I was like, it's probably fake. And he was just like, no, hold up. Look at this.
I mean, you would know about fake idols.
Hilarious. You got me.
You could like, I'm able to suss this out. I would know if that's fake.
It looked fake, but it wasn't fake.
Nope, it was real. And now both idols have been found.
Yeah.
This is Jack's second idol that he's found. I wonder if he'll give this one away like he did his last one.
Yeah, who knows?
And that pretty much ends it for the villains. Nothing much, just you guys found your idol.
Yeah. Go, Jack.
Well done, Jack. And now we move on to the heroes.
Woo, let's see them play.
Play.
Oh, Jesus. Lee, what happened to their necks? Oh,
I'm sure they're great. Yeah, they're like talking about how like, yeah, we get to finally play. We're gonna draw lines, but we want this vote to be unanimous.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like the opposite of drawing lines.
That is true. That is true. You cannot do both.
Yeah, you can't like, we need to confirm alliances, but also we all have to vote the same.
Yeah.
So create an alliance of 9 and just exclude the one person that can't show up, I guess.
R.I.P. Didn't deserve that.
Quick witches. So obviously Austin's name is the first one thrown out by Holly because we have to get out the winner. Let's just do we'll do what the villains did. Vote out the winner first, get that over done with.
Yeah.
And during the challenge, Holly kind of lets it slip that she might have the idol because one of the clues mentioned I'm located near an idol, and immediately Holly was like, "Go to the Kimmel building."
Yeah.
And that kind of makes obvious like, how do you know if the idol was there if you don't have it?
True.
So it's pretty. I think, well, at least Carl knows because he was the one that mentioned it. I don't know if any other heroes mentioned it, that Holly probably has the idol.
Yep.
But even though he figured that out, the main name is Jason for the fact that he just doesn't talk to anyone. Now, I'm sure you're probably one of the few people that disagree with these heroes.
Allegations. These allegations against Jason.
Where's the proof? Where
exactly. You show me. You show me those unanswered text messages. I want to see them.
And that seems to be like the common thing throughout this hero segment. It's just pretty much people saying,
yeah, it's
most likely Jason.
Yeah, which I think can be analyzed a little bit because I think the heroes, a lot of them play very socially. Some of them are loyal. And I think that they want to keep people in that they feel the most comfortable with. And even though Jason probably felt good with Kat because he was like, spoke to Kat, that was good. Just because it was less than Kat was speaking to other people, she might have assumed that he was closer to other people when that wasn't necessarily the case.
Yeah, because like Jason does mention he has multiple 3-ways with people. He has he has his 3-way with Kat and Cam, and then he also has his Eli and Mitch 3-way that he made on day 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but Kat is worried that and of course Jason brings up Holly's name because who else would he target?
Yeah.
And Kat says that Jason went off on Holly. Derek told Holly that Jason went off on her.
Yeah, what the heck, Derek? Come on now.
Wow.
He did that in confidence.
Yeah, that was a private moment. A
private conversation.
And Holly is like, she's kind of confused, like, yes, I wrote down your name, but so did 4 other people, and you kind of voted yourself out.
I do think there are parallels to how Holly, kind of how Gabby comes for me. Jason kind of went for Holly, and we're just kind
Yeah,
of like, why? But there's a
like
lot of
Holly
passion
doesn't.
behind it.
Yeah, because in Holly's mind, it was either her or him,
That's
and
true.
she didn't even know about that her name was even out there.
Hmm. Absolutely.
And like Holly said, Cassie also wrote down his name. Why isn't Jason going after Cassidy?
Yeah, and I think we saw in one of the earlier episodes, Holly said that she would like to keep Jason around because
He
he's strong
wants
in
to
challenges.
mentor.
That was her reasoning.
Yeah, that was the main reason for a lot of these people. It's like they want to keep Jason because he's good in challenges,
Yeah.
and Eli's like, I can easily manipulate him.
Hmm.
And throughout the conversation, it seems like everyone wants to keep Jason, but none of them want to stick their necks out for him.
Yeah, and I would have. I would have stuck my neck out for Jason. Are you kidding me? In a heartbeat. The
Yeah,
heck?
you would have been like, no, we're not doing Jason. We have to vote Holly.
Yeah. And I think
And,
Mitch was put in a tough spot because Mitch didn't want Jason to go. And I think that he made that obvious in the episode. But
yeah,
it's very early, especially because this is their first vote, to really push for another person when it seems pretty unanimous. Oh, let's vote Jason. So good move, I think, unfortunately good move on Mitch's part, not pushing Jason, like not Jason too hard, but sad.
yeah. They were definitely all thinking what will make the tribe better.
Yeah.
Because everyone agreed that was like Jason was not talking with anyone. And that unfortunately led to him being voted off unanimously and not even giving him the decency of an exit interview. That is the true crime of this season.
Absolutely. But he did go on the Survivor Syracuse recap show, so he made an appearance, which is
Yeah,
excellent.
he does have an exit interview, just not in the episode, sadly.
Yes.
But, and as we know with the episode teaser, the swap is coming up,
Yes.
which is very nerve wracking because throughout that tribal, heroes were talking about how they want to stay hero strong,
Yep.
which is definitely worrisome for a villain fan
Oh,
and a
absolutely.
villain player.
Hmm.
We even get Jack saying like they're acting like they're a cult.
Yeah, which isn't fun. And I
No,
think only time will tell, but that's definitely a dangerous theme that we've seen the heroes say repeatedly heading into a transition.
yeah. So with these tribes, I think it really depends on the hero's part, like who gets switched with who. Because like if Eli ends up on a swap tribe with Jack, he might be willing to switch more. Or but if it's like let's say you and Holly are on the same tribe, you'll be like, get the bitch out.
It's something like that, maybe. Yeah.
And maybe it'd be interesting to see some of these heroes split up. Like what if Holly and Cassie are on two different tribes?
Hmm.
What
Yeah.
if Abby and Jack are on two different
Oh
tribes?
my gosh. So many things could happen.
Yeah. What if and this episode we kind of get a milestone. Cam survives her first tribal.
Yes, Cam.
Yeah.
Proud of
What?
her. Proud of
Yeah.
her.
She finally voted the right way.
Absolutely. I'm glad she was able to attend that travel council and got out of her quarantine.
Yeah, because I know a lot for especially the pre-merge people. They really want to beat their last score, their last placement.
Absolutely.
I know for certain people it'll probably be very difficult
Yes.
because of how far they gotten.
Yes.
Yeah, the winner, the runner-ups,
Yes.
those that just lost at the end.
The bronze medalists.
Yeah, the bronze medalists.
Yes.
Bronze is a nice color anyway. Gold is a little tacky.
Absolutely. It goes well with my skin tone.
And that's kind of the episode.
Awesome. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see what happens in the next one.
I was going to say something. Now I don't remember. Oh yeah, I've so the episode. I'm one that loves a good vote count, and just like the first villain tribal, this one was a 9-1 unanimous vote. And I know it probably hurts you seeing too many Jason names out
I
there.
know it's painful, honestly.
Yeah.
Look at his photo. He's so ready to play. Robbed.
Jason for third chances.
Yeah, let's go. Honestly.
You have to feel bad for the guy sometimes because, like, his first tribal, he accidentally kind of voted himself out, and then his second one, he wasn't even there to like defend himself
Which
because you can,
was all his fault.
yeah, damn you, COVID.
Absolutely. COVID is the worst.
Yeah, and then the villains are like laughing in the tribal, being like,
That made me
they
angry. Oh, not the villains? You mean the heroes, right?
heroes. Sorry. Well, who are the real villains?
Yeah, exactly. Watching that back, I was like, are they really laughing right now? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you knew they were all okay with answering questions because it's like, well, we're not going to get punished because he's not here.
Yeah. Ugh.
So we can. So it's kind of like we can say whatever we want and kind of get away with it.
I know, and that's when it gets sad. I always want to defend the underdog. Like, come on.
Yeah. Uh, Luke should let you be there in Jason's place and answer
Oh my
for him.
gosh. Can you I was actually outside when this was going down, and I remember Luke coming out, and he was like, it was Jason, and I was like,
No. Give me those votes. Let me throw them
yeah,
in.
exactly. Recount.
Recap. What? There's only one vote for Holly? I
Yeah.
guess it has to count. And with Jason being gone, it adds him to the list of people voted off in a 9-1 style. Spoilers for a bunch of survivors.
Yeah,
All
that's very
yeah.
cool.
He now joins Lydia of this season, also voted at 9-1.
Wow.
Common first tribal thing.
Wow.
Because the difference with the two tribals is that the heroes had time to get to know each other. And yet it was still a unanimous 9-1 vote. While you guys, it was right away.
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah. In your experience of being in orgs, minis, and other survivor stuff, what is it like going to your first tribal like late in the season?
Oh yeah.
Or like late in the pre-merge?
No, absolutely. Most games I'm not in that position, but one I was, and it's nerve-wracking because you only have the conversations that you've had, and you haven't really had to play the game with people. The lines haven't been drawn. You don't really know how it's gonna go. And personally, in my mind, I was just like, what if this is a blindside? What if everyone I've talked to has been lying to me? So, for the anxious people out there, it's not the look.
Yeah, so it kind of does benefit to maybe not go to tribal first, but kind of go early. Because you don't want to be like waiting there till the merge, never going to a tribal and not testing anything. Because we've seen survivors like that where, yeah, you've never been to a single pre-merge tribal, but you have no experience with any tribals.
Yeah.
I saw a survivor where there was this one guy who one has never been to any pre-merge tribals, but all the merge tribals he's been to, he was always on the wrong side of the vote.
And he made it? Like, he lasted?
He made top 5.
Dang! Go them.
Yeah. Immunities helped. And with that, I guess we'll just have to wait for episode 5, which is in an hour and a half.
Woo! Let's go.
Woo! Pray that the swap does not screw over people. I know Hannah will be having some PTSD with the swap
Absolutely.
from her season, because I'm sure that was I'm sure we're going to hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, thank you, Madison, for joining me.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And thanks everyone for watching. If you want to see any more Syracuse stuff, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, join Survivor Reddit Discord. There's a Syracuse chat. I'm in it. Madison's in it. Other Syracuse players are in it.
Geneva.
Geneva's in it. That's all I actually need. That's all I need to say. Geneva's in it. You have to join.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you want more live reality game show podcast stuff, subscribe to the channel, follow the socials, join the Facebook group. And we will see you guys next time for Syracuse episode 5. Bye, guys.